Hotep. My YouTube account is ifrostyly. That's IFROSTYLY. Moorish American National Republic.com. On the left, you have a menu. Just underneath resources, you might have to scroll down depending on your screen size. You have a link that says application for citizenship. Once you're there, you scroll down the page and you have link number 1 that says application for Moorish American citizenship. Now there they tell you to make sure you have the appropriate documents, and I find it strange. It's just an observation. I find it strange that you're supposed to send your driving license, because I did hear a lot of talks regarding the driving license and the Moors, but I'm not going to dwell on that. It's in capitals, it's in red, it's in bold, and it's underlined as well, so you cannot miss it, and it's going to show again later on. But if you look on the left, top left, it's actually on every page of the document. There's 5 pages. You have that symbol there, and you can see underneath it says Leviticus 25:10. So they are dealing with the Bible. They are the Old Testament, to be precise. And on the right, this time they're dealing with the New Testament, and it's Matthew 21:42. However, what I find strange is that symbol there. I mean, kind of looks, doesn't it look familiar to, no? What about this? US dollar bill, you never heard of that? No? No? It doesn't look similar to you? Not there, the two, I don't know, maybe sometimes you're on the phone and you scribble something, and when you finish talking you realize, wow, damn, I just scribbled a pyramid and an eye on top of it, and it happens to look just like the one on the dollar bill that people say are from the Masons, Freemasons, Illuminati and all that, but it's just a coincidence. That happens. Doesn't happen to you? It almost happened to me. I'm just messing with y'all. Anyway, that can't be, because the Moors, it appears that they are Muslims. So, unless there's Muslims who are Masons as well. But with the famous writing that goes on lately, you don't know who's who. But we're just going to deal with the facts, with what they tell us. So, just before we move on about them being Muslims or not, we're going to find out, you have the self-audit sheet, and it's at the bottom of the page. You need to scroll down. Point number 2, it says note, Moors wear their tassel to the left side, and turban with Allah pin if you have one. They say if you have one, so I guess they're going to use that too, what I'm saying. But point number 6, once again, a clear copy of driver's license. I'm not dwelling on that. This time we move into the Moorish Science Temple of America.org. There they have a link for UMSTA, which stands for University of Moorish Science Temple of America. And there it says the UMSTA is a theoretic Islamic school of higher learning that is set up to meet the needs of those who wish to grasp a pure and true divine doctrine of Islam, which is derived from the philosophy, concepts, opinions, ideas of Prophet Ali. I think it's kind of self-explanatory, Islamic school, but then they might say, well, it's theoretic. Let's move on. They have a link that says our Deen, and once you click there, you have 16 points of our faith and its practices. So, number 1, Shahatian, as they wrote it. Now it says Declaration of Faith. As each new member must proclaim their free national name and religious creed before the face of said congregation, the Moorish Shahatian recital of the Moorish Declaration of Faith, what is commonly called the Shahatian in Al-Islam, that is, there is no God but Allah, and that noble Drew Ali is Allah's last holy prophet in these days, who was and is Jesus in the person. That we are Moorish American Muslims, the direct descendants of the ancient Moabites, who are and were the true founders of the holy city of Mecca in what is called Arabia today. So, of course, Shahatian, as they wrote it, must be the Shahada, as the Arabic speaking people say, and you can compare the Shahatian, the Moorish Shahatian, which is, quote, there is no God but Allah, and that Noble Drew Ali is Allah's last holy prophet, end quote, with the Shahada, and I'm not going to say in Arabic, of course, but you all know that it says, "There is no God but Allah, and Muhammad is His messenger." Interestingly enough, the Moorish Sahatian says that Noble Drew Ali is Allah's last holy prophet, and if you look in the Quran 33:40, it says that Muhammad is the last of the prophets, or otherwise translated as seal of the prophets. And you also have the farewell of Muhammad, where it says that no prophet or apostle will come after him. That's Muhammad ibn Abdullah. And he also says no new faith will be born, but that's all, what they call the Sunnah, because you have the Quran, you have other writings, it's up to them. It's just for you to compare. It looks similar, but let's move on. Point number 2, you have the Salat, and they tell you that it is Quranically correct, so it means they are dealing with the Quran, and unless Salat is in the 7-circle Quran, but I don't plan on reading that book anytime soon, because it does plagiarize the Aquarian Gospel, but don't say it too loud because they don't have no explanation for it. Point number 3, Zakat. Point number 4, Ramadan. Point number 5, Hajj, which is the pilgrimage, and I'm going to read it because you might find this interesting. They're teaching history there. I don't know what's their record, but they will tell us what their record is. Now, our Holy Prophet Drew Ali stated that Chicago, Illinois was going to be our new holy city. As we, the Moorish American Muslims, are the direct descendants of the ancient Moabites, who are the true founders of the holy city of Mecca, yet the ancient Moabites, and not as people commonly believe and have been willfully directed to believe, that the Arabians are the founders of the holy city of Mecca, as well as that Ibrahim was the sole founder of the holy Kaaba, to which was founded way before even Abraham was born. Abraham simply rebuilt it. Thus, we as Moorish American pilgrimage to Chicago, Illinois, as this is our holy city in these modern days, and as such we have no need to travel to the city appointed by Muhammad, who was a prophet of Allah in those days, long gone by, 1400 years, as we know that Allah so loved us, and that the angel Michael and Gabriel that stood before Allah and told of their sorrow of the condition of Allah's people here in America. I'll let you appreciate the history lesson. Point 6, Jihad. Sounds familiar. Point 7, Iman. Now, there it says, to one's belief in Allah and Allah's prophets, with a S, is plural. Books, same thing, plural. Angels, plural, etc. And as our religion is Islamism, we should not simply give lip service, but provide a service, whereas all those around us know what we are about. Okay, that's what you're all about then. Good. Point number 8, Dawah. Propagating the religion of Islam, as it is written within the holy, noble Quran, that Allah will bless those called to the faith. Those who stay home doing nothing are not seen as equal to those who dawah. I think it is clear, self-explanatory there. Point number 9, Khutbah. Oh yeah, I gotta read this because this is interesting. The life, works, and divine doctrine of our Savior, the great Prophet Ali, who is Jesus reincarnated in this era of time. Doesn't that sound familiar? You never heard somebody else who was described as either Jesus or Christ, the anointed Christ, the living Christ? But I'm not going to mention the organization's name because they might try to say that I'm a bully. So, point number 10, Deen. You heard that before, I guess. That's the word that means, that's usually translated as religion. Sometimes they say way, because some slick people try to say, well, Islam is not a religion, it's a way of life. But I'm not dwelling on that. Point number 11, Sharia. They have their Sharia as well, And point number 12, Halal. You will notice I'm not going to read there, but you can read. You can pause the video and read. There's nothing about food, whatsoever. I thought halal dealt with the food primarily, but who knows? I'm not an expert on Islam. Point 14, haram. There you have quotes from the Quran, Surah 2, 173 and Surah 5:4. So once again, for those, you have to understand the Moors, they go by two different Qurans, okay? And haram, of course, I guess is haram. That's the way the Arabic-speaking people pronounce it. Number 15, jihad. Okay. There, I'm not going to read. You can read it if you want to, but it talks about Muhammad ibn Abdullah, the first Quran. I say first so you understand where we at. You don't get lost. And he also talks about the Hadith. Now, 16 is Tawheed. Let me just check something because I noticed as I was reading that I missed point number 13. So, alright, point number 13 is Mubah. I don't need to read that to you because it's not really relevant. But there is a point 13 as well. So, it's going to save the picky people of using that for whatever reason. So 16 Tawheed, and after that at the bottom you can go on the page because I gave you the website. Now I'm not going to write it down because I ain't going to make that much advertisement because but it says our ultimate goal as Moorish American Muslims to attain Tawheed Allah, which means the oneness with Allah, and that's their ultimate goal. So I think it is once again self-explanatory. But who knows, nowadays there's so many things, so much fence riding. People try to mix everything, every religion together, claiming ancestry, claiming to be so old, but when it comes to records, we don't see nothing. My name is Shaka Ndugu Kemet. My YouTube account is IFROSTYLY. The website address is www.afrostyle.com/English. Hotep.